In this video, I'm going to cover the most important list methods. For a full list and more description, please look at your handouts. Before moving forward, I want you to be aware of the syntax that we are going to use. The syntax that we are going to use is going to be list name or object name data. That method that comes with, there's a typo here, method, that comes with possibly some arguments, that those arguments are going to be inside parentheses. All right, that's our syntax. Now let me see what we have. We have states, which is DC, Virginia, Maryland, and New York. I also defined another list called the states west, which is California, Oregon, California, and Washington. California is repeated just for illustration purpose. All right, let's get to work and see how these methods work. Count is going to count number of items, a specific number of times, and a specific item is being repeated. All right. So again, I'm going to follow that syntax. States dot count. I want to count what? I want to count Virginia. How many? How many times? Oh, Maryland. Let's say Maryland. That's fine. How many times Maryland gets repeated in states? Well, how many times is it? Maryland is one time. Right. Well, that's one time right there. How about states data count? Count what? MD. Well, this is going to be 0. Why? Because it's MD. This MD is not the same as that MD. All right. Remember case sensitivity. Now, how about states west? States west dot count. Count what? Count California. And that is going to give you 2 because there are 2 instances of California in the states west. All right, let's move forward. And of course, if we discuss if an item is not there, you are going to get a 0. Index returns index of a first instance of an item. What do I mean by that? Well, let's look at states. We are following same syntax, data index, and we have used this index before. Remember, before with enumerate function, index of, let's say index of and DC. This should give us 0, right? Index of DC in the states is 0. How about states west? States west dot index of California. Well, California is repeated twice there, right? You see that California and California. So if there's repetition, it is going to return the very first the index of the very first instance. In this case, California is in index 0 and index 2, so it is going to return 0. Now let's go to the next method. Insert is going to insert in one specific index. It is going to insert one specific item. All right, let me go here and look at let me look at my states one more time. States and states west. All right, I want to insert West Virginia right before Maryland. Well, this is index 0, 1, so I wanted index number 2. This is how we are going to use it. Again, states data insert in index number 2, right? I want to insert what? West Virginia. And after that, give me states. It's going to be West Virginia now is there. All right. Let me go back here. Insert append. Well, we are familiar with this. Append is going to pack your list. It is going to add items to the end of the list. The other one is remove. Now, when it comes to removing items, there are at least 2 different ways of doing that. One of them is using remove method. That is going to remove, it is going to search for the item and remove it. And there's another one called the delete. That is Python's function. It has nothing to do with the list. All right. We are going to see how we can use them differently in with a list. So let's start with remove. All right, this one. Let's start with remove. We have, let me call states one more time. States. I want to remove that West Virginia now. I'm going to say states dot remove what? I want to remove West Virginia. All right, and after that, give me states. I want to see what it looks like. West Virginia is gone. I'm back to the original list that I had. All right, now if you notice that remove, I have to pass an item, specific item that I want to remove. Sometimes you want to remove an item in a specific index. All right. So for that, this is what you can do. You can use easiest one is use del. All right. Del, it's not a list method. It is a function that it's built in Python. Right. Del what? Del in the states. I want I want Maryland gone. States index number 2, 0, 1, and 2. Let's have a look at that, and then let's look at states. And now Maryland is gone. You have DC, Virginia, and New York. If you want to bring it back, let's see. How can I insert? How can I insert Maryland here? Well, we have insert right there. All right. I want Maryland. Right now, states are DC, Virginia, and New York. I want Maryland to be between Virginia and New York, which means it should be in index number 2. All right. I'm going to say states as a practice. States dot insert in index number 2. Insert what? Maryland, and give me states. And you have DC, Virginia, Maryland, and New York. All right. So far, we have seen insert, append, remove del, and extend. Now, a lot of times we need to combine two lists. In other words, you want to add one list at the end of another one. There are at least two ways of doing that. One way to do that is using plus equal sign, and the other one is using extend. Let me look at states. States, that's what you have. Let's look at states west. That you have, I want states west to be added at the end of states. This is one way to do it. So, states plus equal states underscore west. All right. What this is going to do, this is going to take all the members of states underscore west and add it at the end of state. So think of this as a bulk append. All right. States, now you have all of those. All right. Does this change states west? States underscore west. States underscore, come on, west. No, it doesn't change that. This is one way to do it. Another way to do the same thing is using extend. So let me look at my states one more time. States. Now, states is a little bit, it's busy, all right? I want to remove part of it. Well, how can I remove part of it? I want to keep DC, Virginia, Maryland, and New York. So this is index 0, 1, 2, 3. I want index 4 forward to be gone, all right? I'm going to use, remember, del states index 4 forward. I'm not going to provide the end index. If I don't provide end index, it is going to go all the way till end, all right? And if I look at states, now states is DC, Virginia, Maryland, and New York. Now I have states and I have states west. I want to extend or add states west to the end of states. So I'm going to say states dot extend what? Extend states underscore west, all right? And let's look at states. States is now that extended list, states, does this change states west? No, it does not change that. All right. Let me go back and see what's next. We talked about extend, sort, and sorted. This is very important. We are going to use this quite a lot. Sort and sorted. All right. Let me go back here. Sort is lists method, which means this is how we are going to use it. Let me look at states. It's that long list. If I want to use sort, I'm going to first type the name of the list times the data sort. All right. What this is going to do, this is going to sort it alphabetically because those are all the strings. Let me see what is going to come to the front. It's going to be California and then the rest. All right. Let's look at states. You see that California, DC, and at the end you have Washington. This changed the original list. The original list you had started with DC. Now that it starts with California. There is another function that this is Python's built-in function. It is not limited to list, and that is called sorted. sorted, give me sorted of, let me define states one more time. I'm sorry. Let me define states one more time just to show how states, this is equal to this, all right? Original states that we had, a long list that we got after extension, and sorted of, give me sorted of states. Sorted of states, it's going to be sorted similar to sort, but they are fundamentally different. Remember, after sort, when I call the states, the original states list is not the same anymore. It is changed, right? How about sorted? After when I called sorted, all right, and it shows me those the sorted version of states. Let me look at the states itself. States itself is not changed. That's a main difference between sorted and sort. Sort is a list method that modifies the original list. Let me repeat it. I think I made a mistake. Sort is a list method that modifies, when you use it, it potentially modifies the original list. But sorted is a Python function that it just displays sorted version, but it does not change it does not modify the original list, or you can use it with other objects as well. If we go back here, we talked about sorted, reverse, clear, and we are done. All right, so please be patient. Reverse. Let me have states one more time. It's that. Let's use states dot reverse, and what you are gonna get. Let's look at states. Now you have a reverse. It goes from now starts with Washington, goes all the way to all the way to DC. All right. Let me define my state one more time. Something just crossed my mind. States is equal to this, all right? Original states, similar to reverse. So this is what you can do as well. You can say, you know what, give me states from beginning till end with step size of -1. All right, this is very cool. From beginning till end, but give me step size of -1, which means it is going to give you list, but in a reverse order. Let's call this, and you see that this is similar to what you have when you use a reverse. The very last one that I had listed here is clear versus on this slicing versus del. All right, let me go back and look at my states again. States, what do I have? Okay, that is my states. I can use states dot clear. As the name suggests, this is going to remove all the elements from the list, all right? And if I look at states, it's an empty list. So the object of list is not removed from the memory. Just its elements are gone. All right, now I can use append to add members to it. That's fine. All right, let me define my state one more time. States is equal to that. All right, now clear is equivalent to doing this. States is equal to this. Oh, what did I do? All right, equal to this. So you are redefining your state. You are saying, you know what, it's an empty list. Another way of doing that, and that's what I was trying to do, states from beginning. Let me redefine my states. I'm sorry. Let me redefine my states. Right, another way of emptying a list from its members is doing this. States from beginning till end. I want from beginning till end to be equal to empty. All right, and if you look at states, you are going to get empty. There is a slight difference. There's actually a fundamental difference between this one in my screen, line 178, and this one 180. All right, if you are interested, we can discuss it offline, but there's a difference between these two. Now you see that when I even after I remove or empty list of states from that list, when I empty members of a states list. Still, when I call states, it says, you know what, it's empty. It's sitting there, but it's empty. All right. Let me redefine my states and this time use del and see what happens. States and del states. All right, if I call states, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to say, I don't even know what you're talking about. States doesn't exist in computer memory anymore. Del removes data, the whole object from the computer memory. It's not just removing, it's members. All right. There's a big difference between that and clear. Now, these are most important methods of list. There are other ones for complete list and more description about these methods. You can always refer to your handouts.